Oh my god, Camellya. Judging from the leaked information about her kit, Camellya is definitely gonna be a beast. Not only is she going to be like Spider-Man out there, grabbing enemies and dealing fast-paced damage, she is also gonna be spinning like a top during combat. So let's talk about all these things: weapons, team comps, skills, and talents. Roll that intro. Let's go! Yo! Welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat mga kaibigan at kapitbahay, mga katropa? Welcome to another video. And this time we are going to talk about Camellya's pre-release kit. Today we're breaking down what you need to know about the upcoming 5-star Havoc character, Camellya. She's a sword-wielding powerhouse, and whether you're aiming for her signature weapon or looking for alternatives, we're gonna talk about all of these things here. We're also gonna touch up on her skills, her team comps, echo sets, etc., etc. At least based on what info is currently out about this character. And my lordy lord, there's so much to unpack. And you know what? Like, I just arrived from Osaka because the last couple of days I've been away on vacation, you know, enjoying the sights, enjoying the culture of Osaka in Japan, and really loved it. So there's so much catching up for me to do about this character that came out while I was on vacation, on holiday. So let's start things off with her skills. Do note, however, that this is pre-release, so until Kuro confirms everything, do take whatever info I will give you with a grain of salt. In addition, I'm not gonna go very in-depth, mainly because, you know, Kuro doesn't want people leaking these types of information. In fact, they made some measures, at least for the English version of her kit, to leave some stuff out. So if you're doing those people that are releasing these kits from the beta are unable to actually see some parts of her kit. So we'll try to make sense of all of this without putting out too much details about Camellya's kit, okay? To cooperate with Kuro's leak policy at the moment. And based on my understanding, Camellya has 3 main types of skills and 2 forms that she can shift in between. The first form will have her hair white, and the second form is where her hair is actually red. So let's start by explaining her normal form. In her normal form, when you use her skills, she deals half her total damage, and then she enters her bloom state, which is where things start to get really interesting, really messy, really incredible for Camellya. And there is, it seems to me at least, quite a learning curve to her kit. So when you enter the second stage, where she will deal more damage, you will need to collect certain points in order to get the most out of this phase. During her bloom state, her normal and heavy attacks get replaced by this crazy dance-like series of moves that makes her look like a spinning Beyblade top or something. You know, she becomes like a tornado of damage. These attacks are still considered basic attacks, so they scale with her basic attack stats. After your third spinning attack, if you press heavy attack, you'll perform a final devastating spin with a 400 motion value. This is one of the highest damage moves she has in her bloom form. So, her optimal combo in her bloom state will be something like perform basic attack 1, perform basic attack 2, and then perform basic attack 3, and then you hold for a heavy attack spin. Just keep doing that, keep spamming that during her bloom state, and it will deal a lot of damage. Now, let's talk about some of her more advanced mechanics during her bloom state. Camellya can trigger a move called Dark Core Hunting. which has an even higher motion value than her regular skill. Once you cast it, you'll exit bloom state and go back to her normal form, but before doing that, she will deal a nuke damage. Okay? And then her forte, the red mark petal system, this is a mechanic that really defines how you want to play her. Each time Camellya hits an enemy with basic attacks, spinning moves, or counters, she gains red mark petals, and every 10 petals consumed gives her 4 concerto energy and 1 layer of red mark. This stacks up 10 times. The more red mark stacks you have, the more damage Camellya can deal on your enemies. Once Camellya's concerto energy is full, her skill will evolve into something called One Day Flower, which is her best damage dealing move. This ability consumes 70 concerto energy and restores 100 red mark petals. Plus, after casting this special skill, Camellya enters the Bud state, where her damage multipliers get absolutely insane. Because in Bud state, all of Camellya's damage multipliers get a 50% increase. And remember, all those red marks that we've stacked previously, during the Bud state, they all get consumed, adding an additional 5% multiplier per stack. So at 10 stacks, we're looking at a 100% damage bonus. Yeah, it's completely broken. But you know what? Like, hey, we'll take it. However, like I said, this is pre-release, so it's possible that during the course of the beta, her kit, all of these buffs will be reduced eventually. But at the moment, the ceiling is really high when it comes to her multipliers. So this is really insane, right? Now let's quickly recap her most efficient rotation to maximize her damage. We start by stacking those red marks with basic attacks. Then we enter the bloom state, right? So execute the spinning dance move. And when you're ready, use dark core hunting to exit that form, build up concerto energy, unleash the One Day Flower, and then crush everything during Bud state with massive damage. Rinse and repeat this for maximum profit. Again, this is not a finished product yet. So, just do be very careful. We will not completely know how these things work until she gets released. But based on how it is currently explained right now, based on the Chinese version of her kit, it appears that this is how you need to do, or you need to play Camellya in order to get the most damage out of her. Now, as for her weapon, Camellya's best weapon will be her signature 5-star sword. Currently, I haven't seen the name for it yet, but it does have high attack plus a crit rate substat. And her unlockable stats will have attack and I believe crit damage. So you want to give her crit rate as much as possible, and you do that through her weapon and through echoes. However, without a doubt, her best in slot weapon will be perfect for her. It's just that right now there are a lot of conflicting information about it. But if you do not want to get her best in slot weapon, you could settle with Emerald of Genesis, for example, which is a standard 5-star sword that offers high base damage and a stackable attack buff when you use a Resonator skill, or when you use the Resonance skill. It's a great fallback if you're pulling from the standard banner. You'll also get 12% energy regeneration, which is a nice bonus for Camellya, which allows her to keep fighting longer. In addition, this weapon has crit rate substats, which will help you build up crit rate for Camellya. Changli's best in slot, Blazing Brilliance, is also great for Camellya. It gives you attack plus crit damage substats, right? And then it also buffs your attack stat. And here, the wielder gains 1 stack of Searing Feather upon dealing damage, which can be triggered once every zero point 0.5 seconds and gains 5 stacks of the same effect upon casting Resonance skill. Each stack of Searing Feather gives 4% additional Resonance skill damage bonus for up to 14 stacks. After reaching the max stacks, all stacks will be removed in 12 seconds. So that's not bad at all. That's a great alternative as well for Camellya, except that the substat for this weapon is crit damage. You do get more attack stats from this weapon, plus the damage from the Searing Feather. Now, for those who will be running with 4-star weapons, here are some solid options. I believe that the best 4-star weapon for Camellya is the Looming Gloss, because it increases both basic and heavy attack damage by up to 64% for 10 seconds after using a Resonance skill. It makes it ideal for characters like Camellya who focus on sustained damage. The only drawback here is that this weapon is attack and attack percentage, right? So it doesn't have any crit substats in there. So you have to build your crit, especially your crit rate, from your echoes. If you want a sword with a more versatile boost, you can try Command of Conviction, which increases attack by 30% for 15 seconds after using an intro skill, giving you consistent damage output during longer battles. Now, moving on to Sonatas and Echoes. Obviously, you want to give her Sun Sinking Eclipse as a Havoc DPS Resonator. The 2-piece effect gives you a 10% boost to Havoc damage, while the 5-piece effect increases your Havoc damage even further after using basic or heavy attacks, and it stacks up to 4 times. If you don't have a full Sun's Sinking Eclipse, you can mix it with 2-piece Lingering Tunes for a 10% attack boost. It's a great alternative if you're missing pieces but still want to increase Camellya's overall damage. Camellya's best main echo here would be the Dreamless. It unleashes 6 powerful Havoc attacks, perfect for burst damage during Resonance Liberation, and the best part, you can cancel out of the animation and switch characters immediately, letting you maximize damage while keeping your team rotation fluid. For her echo stats, you'll want to focus on a mix of crit rate and crit damage, and also Havoc damage, to get the most out of her attacks. The ideal setup would be for the 4 cost is crit rate or crit damage, depending on what you need to put there in order to get the 1-to-2 or something ratio that you need. At least get her to 60% crit rate. In my opinion, that's what I usually go for, but I think around 40 to 60 should be fine. Now, concentrate the rest on your crit damage, and 1 or 2 costs in attack percentage to balance things out. For substats, prioritize energy regeneration until you hit 20%. Then go for crit rate and crit damage to achieve that 1-to-2 crit ratio again. Finally, throw in some attack percentage and flat attack to round out her build. Also, like with the 3 cost, if you want to put in a Havoc damage bonus on one or both of them, that's also fine. The important thing is you have a balance of crit stats and some energy regen stats in there so that you can get some consistency out of Camellya. In addition, attack stats would be great on her as well. So put those in there and you should be fine. Now let's talk about the best team compositions to pair Camellya with. Ideally, you want her in a team that supports quick resonance energy regen and maximize her damage windows. And to really bring out Camellya's potential, you'll want to pair her with characters that can generate concerto energy quickly. For buffers, Sanhua is most likely to be a good character to pair with Camellya. She's a no-brainer and she boosts attack. For support, Verena or the Shorekeeper can give her the sustain she needs to stay in the fight longer. But if you have Yinlin, for example, or even Sheshi, like those two 5 stars, they are also great at concerto energy. So you may want to put them in a Camellya team comp. Uh, you could also use Havoc Rover for in a team where Camellya, you have Havoc Rover, and you have the Shorekeeper all in action. But here's a caveat: if you're gonna use Havoc Rover, you may want to use probably a support Echo set or Sonata set in there that will allow that will boost Camellya's damage, and we're talking about Moonlit Clouds, which increases the Havoc Resonator's energy regen, plus provides attack boosts and buffs for Camellya when he switches over to Camellya. This setup helps generate resonance energy while keeping Camellya as the main damage dealer. It also boosts her survivability, allowing you to capitalize on her burst damage potential. Another strong option here would be Camellya, Danjin, and Verena. And Danjin provides great crowd control while Verena offers solid support and damage. This comp should work well for those longer fights where you need a bit more of sustain. Alright, here's a quick breakdown of Camellya's skill priorities. First, you max out her Forte circuit for that juicy damage bonus, then focus on her Resonance Liberation and then her Resonance skill. After that, level her basic attacks and then her intro skill. So to wrap things up, Camellya is definitely a beast as of press time, right? As of this moment, her kit, very beastly with the right gear and team. Her signature weapon is top tier as far as we know, but don't sleep on alternative weapons for her, okay? With the right Echo set and crit heavy stats, she can become a devastating force on the battlefield. So, whether you're a hardcore player or just looking for a new DPS, Camellya's got the tools to get that job done. So, what do you guys think? Do you agree that Camellya is a beast, that her kit is currently insane? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you find this guide helpful, please smash that like button and subscribe for more tips and in-depth guides. Also, don't forget, hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss future videos that I will be putting out about Camellya. Binge watch also from the channel page. Maybe there's some content there that will be helpful to you, so take a look at all the videos that I have posted. And yeah, once again, let me know in the comments which team comps you think is great with Camellya, what echoes should we use, what weapons you'll be using on her, and also any other tips that you have, because there's a possibility that I might have missed some stuff here, and I would be happy if you would share your thoughts on Camellya. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much. Bye-bye!